All right, little funky, you ready? Let's go. National Day calendar I just looked at, and how the heck did I miss National Red Wine Day? That was yesterday. I was just scouring the news and talking about some news you can use, and I missed that. We'll give you a rundown of some things that are going on today and tomorrow as we go into Labor Day weekend and the great things that are going to be held throughout our area as we wrap up August and get ready to start September. Can you believe it? I cannot believe that we are almost in September and almost into fall. That means football season. We'll be talking about that in just a second. Let me welcome you all in. As you can tell, I got a lot of energy this morning. I'm ready to go. I hope you are as well. We've got a lot to talk about today on the Real Monica Adams Show. If you're new, as you can see, I am your host, Monica Adams. We're at home today. A lot of times we do our mobile Monicas, which means we take this, pick it up, and bring our show live to your business. Today, I actually get to relax a little bit at home. This is a very big rarity for anybody that's on my team. Ask them. It's rare that I am sitting here and not moving around and just flying around constantly. I've been up early and going through the news, which we're going to give you. We've got weather to kick things off. We've got some sports news, exciting. Football starts tonight for MIZ-ZOU. Are you ready for it? I will give you a little Cardinals score. And then today, topic-wise, we're going to talk about organization. Oh, this is going to be a fun one. And I wish I had a panel of guests. I actually wish I could have you right here so that we could talk back and forth. I said this yesterday. If anybody ever wants to actually hop on and join the discussion, there's a way for my moderators to send a link and an invite for you to do just that. So I've got one person on my team. If she feels compelled to join the conversation, please do so. There's a way for you to join us and actually go on camera with me. Otherwise, the way you do it, if you're new, moderators are looking for your comments and questions. If I by chance miss one, they'll ding me and say, hey, Monica, this person's got a good question or a comment for you. So that's the way I interact with you, like my old days in radio. Please do so. If you are new to the show, please let me know where you're watching from. I always like to know those platforms and how they continue to grow and grow. You just saw, if you would like to become a sponsor, on the bottom of the screen, you can email me, info@TheRealMonicaAdams.com, and that means you become part of this incredible mission that we've had over the last year and a half to build and build more positivity around the world, which is what we need for sure. All right, one thing that you need as you get ready to start your day is the forecast. So let's break this down for you. You know, we've been talking about really dangerous heat over the last several days. Is it coming to an end? Yes, a little bit. If you're going to the Cardinals game today, which, by the way, is an afternoon game, when the first pitch happens, it's going to be 91 already. But by the time the ninth inning comes around, 97 is going to be your high. So dangerous heat. Any of you that's been going to the Cardinals games, let us know how bad it's been. Anything outside activity wise. And then, of course, always remember, if you've got family, friends that work outside, make sure you tell them to stay hydrated because it's dangerous. Heat exhaustion, heat stroke, all those things that we always ask you. Of course, take care of yourself first and foremost, and then take care of those around you, like the elderly, your children, and of course, those animals. 97, as I mentioned, for today, 76 for a low. Now, we could see some storms pop up. It's not for everybody, but it is a possibility. And going into tomorrow morning, and some of those, by the way, could be severe, so that could flip to an first alert day. We'll let you know. 91, though, it starts to get cooler, and that's because of that rain and that cold front that will move in. 71 for the low tomorrow night as we get into the weekend. 85 on Saturday with a slight chance of some showers, and that'll be more to the south. 87 on Sunday, Monday 82, Tuesday 81, Wednesday 82. So that nice stretch of cooler weather headed our way. I mean, look at Monday night, actually 59 for your low. And that, of course, is Labor Day. So the pick day for sure of the Labor Day weekend goes into Labor Day. You can see we've got Cardinals, that little emblem on tap for today. St. Louis City SC games as well. And we'll be talking about Mizzou games. Let's get into the news for you. Did you hear this yesterday? What an iconic man. I always loved seeing his commercials, and you knew that he was going to say, it really is good, guys and gals. Ted Drewes Jr. died, the owner of a St. Louis institution. And a lot of people were packing Ted Drewes last night. Obviously, one, because of the heat. He loved getting those concretes in the heat. but also to honor him. And what better way to honor him than to get a frozen custard? He passed away at the age of 96. His father, Ted Drews Sr., opened the first location in Florida in 1929. Drews Jr. often appearing in those ads and just making us all smile. Do you have a favorite, by the way? Do you have a favorite concrete? Johnny Rabbit, a very iconic radio announcer in our area, longtime friend of mine. He actually has a custard named after him at Ted Drews. I love to go there. Haven't been in a while, but I think I need to make a trip to Ted Drews this weekend, maybe even today, to honor him and share some special memories. It's a shame, but wow, what a long life he lived. 96 years, making us all happy. And thank you to his father for opening that up. I will tell you this, I've only been to the location right there in the Chippewa kind of Watson area. I've never been to the other location. Have you been to both? I mean, living here my entire life, I've never been to that. They closed that one, I believe already, not closed for good, but they closed it for the season. But of course, the one in the South City area, right there around Chippewa and Watson, will remain open. Obviously, many people get their Christmas trees from that lot. So, yeah, go ahead and drop in the comments as you are waking up this morning with us. Let us know if you've got a favorite concrete to remember the iconic Ted Drews Jr. Let's see. Let me say good morning real quick as we're doing this. Good morning to Julie. Hannah, thank you for being up and moderating for us. Kathleen, good morning. Kathy, Hats by Diane. I got to tell you, folks, and she's amazing. We've said that over and over again. She's been on my show before, but she had a surprise, and I posted it on my socials that she just absolutely blew me away. I opened up this present from her yesterday, and it was a hat that had bees on it. And then it said kind. So be kind. And then some little bees on the side. And she said she thought she was going to be able to see me in person, but she wanted me to get some use out of it as we wrap up summer, go into fall. I love you, Diane. I mean, again, just sharing kindness and spreading the love. She said, I just wanted to do this just because I love you. Well, I love you, Diane. And thank you for all that you do. So if you're looking for an incredible hat, by the way, look up Hats by Diane. Kelsey, good morning. Also helping moderate with Hannah. Julie, good morning, friends. Sean, good morning. Go Buckeyes. I love that. Guess what I'm doing today? Organizing and cleaning. My son is flying in tonight, so it's high gear today. All right, well, we're going to talk about that in just a second. Organization. Are you good at organizing or are you not? Julie Fabian said, I bet Ted Drews will be crazy busy. And it should be. Let's all pack Ted Drews to honor the entire family, but definitely to honor Ted Drews Jr. Let's see. Michelle says, Crater Copernicus was my go-to. I've never seen that one. My mom loved any of the pie concretes with nuts. All right, Jenny, good morning. Excited for this show. Let's go. Kathleen, sending prayers to you. Diane, that is a cool hat. Cannot wait to see it. I don't know if you all saw it on my my Instagram feed or not. Good morning, everyone. Let's see the prayers for Debbie. Wasn't here yesterday due to having to take a medical test. Well, we wish you the best, by the way. Leaving town again to have the test that couldn't happen yesterday. Doc is checking for a form of cancer. Oh, our dear friend Debbie, who watches our show on a regular basis, let's all send her thoughts and prayers for sure. I believe in prayer lines for a positive outcome. Absolutely, we're sending prayers for you. Rest in peace, Ted Drews, Debbie says. We will wish the absolute best for you. So yeah, Ted Drews Jr. passing away. All right. So if the general election were held today, we have breaking news from overnight. KMOV, actually the first to get this before anyone, of what the general election would look like for our state of Missouri. If you're watching in another state, another country, let me know where you're watching from. But here in the state of Missouri, hold on one second. There we go. This is what things would look like today. General election, sports betting, abortion rights, and Republicans leading in the November election poll. So the poll from St. Louis University and YouGov gives the insight into Missouri voters ahead of the November election. For the poll, YouGov interviewed 1,154 registered voters in Missouri to screen for and survey likely voters in the state. The registered voters were then matched down to a sample of 988, yielding a target subsample of 900 likely voters. The survey was in the field from August 8th to August 16th. So if the president of the United States election were held today, Donald Trump would win Missouri with 54% of the votes. Kamala Harris had 41%, while others not sure made up about 5% of the votes. The poll found the Republicans Josh Hawley, Mike Kehoe, David is it Wazinger? Wazinger? I don't know that one. Andrew Bailey, Vivek Malek, and Dennis Hoskins would win their races with over 50% of the vote. The director of the poll said with leads in the double digits, it's an uphill climb for Democrats. I also was looking at the amendment to limit abortion restrictions. Again, the new SLU YouGov poll results show in Missouri that yes, got 52%, no 34%, not sure 14%. Again, this is if the general election were to take place today. The amendment to limit abortion restrictions, again, passing 52%. Legalizing sports betting, 52% said yes. 30% said no, and 21% not sure. The minimum wage increase. This is an interesting one to watch as we get into the November election. 57% of Missouri say yes, increasing the minimum wage. 30% say no, and 14% say not sure. And by the way, there was a poll for the favorite Major League Baseball team that we're going to talk about in just a second. And in Missouri, likely, 41% said the Cardinals, 20% said the Royals, and then it went to other teams not from our area. Well, of course, our Cardinals would win, right? Let's see. Marilyn saying that's a cool hat. Can't wait to see it. Kathleen loved the hat. You saw it, right? Diana's so talented. Prayers going up for Debbie. Kathleen, Debbie, sending prayers to you. Missouri is a Trump state. Definitely. Yes. And speaking of that, so we always want to make sure that we give you all of the news. I did look over at Yahoo and they give like a little rundown of what's going on in the top 10 stories. Well, Kamala Harris and Tim Walz were beginning their 2-day bus tour through southern Georgia yesterday. Harris's campaign determined to keep every pathway to victory open. They are targeting the 4 Sun Belt states, Georgia, Arizona, Nevada, and North Carolina, in addition to the Rust Belt states. Donald Trump also stepping up his campaign in toss-up states, attacking Harris's policies and aiming to win back support. So that's the rundown for you with regards to political news, not getting political, but giving the rundown to just to give you an update of where we are with just a couple of months left before the November election. Okay, did you see this one? This is actually one of the very first stories I saw this morning. A water main break flooding a parking lot, very busy parking lot in Chesterfield. It flooded part of the Trader Joe's complex. It happened about 1 o'clock on Clarkson Road, and crews were spotting at least 2 breaks in that parking lot. Fire crews were able to go inside Trader Joe's to stop water that was getting into the store, and Missouri American Water shut off the main to the complex. I am very familiar with that area because that's where I used to go and get my hair done before my dear friend opened up her dream. And I'm going to go ahead and give her a plug because she's amazing. Sherry Anderson with Shear Sherry Studios. Shear as in cutting. Shears. Shear. She moved just down the road, right where Dominic Michael's salon used to be, right by Annie Gunn's. But I wouldn't have been able to go, and a lot of you wouldn't have been able to go today, or you would have had to park somewhere else. And if you go to Trader Joe's or anything in there's a pet store in there and a lot of restaurants. You might want to check to see if I get any updates for you. Before I wrap up, I'll let you know. But yeah, that was a pretty big deal. All right, let's give you some trending news. I need this deal. Jason and Travis Kelce inking a $100 million deal with Amazon to take their New Heights podcast to the next level. All right. Have you been following this? Familiar with the Kelce brothers? The 3-year deal gives Wondery, Amazon's Wondery, a exclusive ad sales and distribution rights to the brothers' popular podcast beginning yesterday, coinciding with the start of the NFL season. A source with the deal told Variety, along with global distribution rights to all audio and video episodes of New Heights with Jason and Travis, the deal gives Wondery rights to the podcast back catalog, as well as rights to create international audio adaptations of the podcast. Amazon's Wondery will have exclusive rights to monetize and distribute audio and video podcast episodes. Okay, the Kelce brothers launched the podcast back in 2022, but it's really gained momentum over the last probably 6 months to a year, of course, with Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift and all their information. But I mean, all their news that gets out there with regards to their relationship, it ramps up and ramps up. I will say between the two, Jason is absolutely hilarious. They both are, but I've never listened to one episode. I don't know if any of you have, but $100 million deal? Come on. That's just nuts. And by the way, I need my team to get a deal ink like that. Come on, where's my manager? Lori, get on that, all right? All right, we talked about football news. The Rams, an unlikely source, didn't expect to see this one happening. The Rams claiming Cody Schrader, who we all watched so much last year with the Missouri Tigers, they claimed him off waivers from the 49ers. Yeah, the former standout at Mizzou and Lutheran South High School lands a spot on the 53-man roster for the Rams. So that was an unlikely place. The LA Rams submitted their waiver claim on the former standout. The team that infamously vacated the city of St. Louis back in 2016 was set to carry only 3 running backs on its 53-man roster before successfully claiming Schrader off the waivers from the San Francisco 49ers. Schrader signed as an undrafted free agent with the Niners following the NFL draft just this past spring. Did not expect that one to happen at all. And by the way, the Missouri Tigers are in action, as I mentioned, tonight. Anybody traveling to Columbia for this one? It's going to be a humid, warm one for sure as they kick off the 2024 schedule. Let's stay on it for a second. Anybody going to any of these games? Murray State. Talk much, Monica? Murray State on tap tonight. That kickoff, by the way, will be at 7 p.m. And then look, they play Buffalo, Boston College, Vanderbilt. They go to Texas A&M. They go to UMass. Oh, I want to see that game against Auburn. And then Alabama. That's a tough schedule. Oklahoma, Carolina, Mississippi State, and Arkansas. Great schedule, guys. Anybody going to the game tonight? And how many football fans do I have? I'm so giddy. This is my favorite time of year for so many reasons. We talk about all the seasons, and we've mentioned this before. What's your favorite season? For me, fall. For so many reasons, and one of them is what we're talking about right now. College football, for sure. I like to watch high school football. So any of my friends have kids playing right now, I'd love to come and see your kids play. And then we talk about the Cardinals on tap. Again, it's an afternoon game. The Cardinals beat the Padres 4-3 yesterday. Yes, they came out victorious. But if you are going to the game today, 91 degrees for the first pitch, woo, and 97 by the time it gets to the 9th inning, which is just nuts. Okay, let's see. Jenny said, oh, no, I love that Trader Joe's. I know. Be careful, everybody. Just if you're heading that way, might be some major traffic trying to get in there, or you may have to park elsewhere, or it may be closed since the water main break seems to have come from inside of there. Let's see. Hub's on my way to St. Peter's for tests. Gotcha. Yes, we read that one. Prayers and positive vibes. Monica, my husband was negotiating for an opportunity for a gig he does, and he's the best at it, but the client was trying to lowball him. But he told me during the meeting he thought of you. Oh, I love this. And he told himself he knew his value and stuck by his guns. He's listening. Rose, what's your husband's name? Shout out to Mr. Presley. And we're not talking about Elvis. Good morning, Richard. Oh my gosh, we've missed you. All right, everybody, you are up to date in what I think you probably wanted to know from overnight. There's some other things that were kind of mixed in. I didn't think we necessarily had to bring into the news you can use. So we're going to leave it there for the news you can use, for your sports news, for your weather, and your trending news. So we're going to take our first quick break. And when we come back, I know a lot of you are here for this today. What are you here for? Organization. Organization is key. We're going to talk about this today. Let's just do this as I go to a break. Do you think you are a planner? You make to-do lists, you have daily goals. Do you finish them? Do you leave a lot of things on the table? Does it make you stressed out? Let's talk about all this today. This is a day I need you to be very interactive because we're going to find out how to become maybe a little more organized if you aren't right now. It's okay. Don't berate yourself. Don't put yourself down because at any point you can change and maybe you need to take advice from those that are incredibly organized. All right. We've got that for you coming up on the Real Monica Adams Show.
She's a special woman and done so much for St. Louis.
Watching her work is one of the most incredible things you can see.
She just sees value in everyone.
Sometimes people just need you to sit with them and hear them. I feel heard.
Time flew by, and it was like sitting and talking to a friend.
Not only creating a better place here in St. Louis, but to inspire others. It's always great to have examples like you.
You have such a light and such a presence, and I could feel it this morning.
We knew right away when you started this, we wanted to be on your show. Thanks for having us.
I look forward to seeing how you rock and roll and shake it up.
I'm excited to announce my all-new mattress topper. In the times we're in, I wanted to bring you the best affordable mattress topper ever. So I took my two best technologies and combined them to make the ultimate mattress topper. And now you can get it for as low as $69.98. Queen size only $99.98. It all starts with my famous MyPillow foam that provides you that overall full body support. Second is the individual comfort supports that give you an amazing custom sleep experience. It's like it's made specifically for you. The queen size alone has over 14,000 comfort supports. This is the perfect mattress topper to improve any bed. New bed, old bed, your guest beds. Get them for every bedroom in your house. Go to mypillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use your promo code to get the all-new My Mattress Topper for as low as $69.98. Queen size only $99.98. Don't delay, order today.
And don't forget to stop by our friends at Just Pools, the pool and spa specialist. They are on the West Outer Road in Arnold. And right now they have 50% off everything you're seeing on your screen. So you want to go by, wrap up the season. Again, Labor Day weekend. Why don't you grab some things? Maybe you're going to a pool party, or you want to go over to a friend's and maybe say, hey, I'd love to donate this because you always bring us over. That's actually one of the kindest things that you could do, is say, I want to bring toys over, or hey, do you need a break on chemicals? Because it gets really, really pricey. And people always think I need to bring something to a friend's house. That would be actually something fun, I think, that you could do for them. So 10% off of winterizing kits. Unfortunately, we're making way for that. We have 50% off all those fun toys. And I mean, they do have some really cool ones there. So if you want to go get some noodles, you want to go get some loungers, all of that from our friends. Don't get it from anywhere else. Please support those that support us. And if you're still considering trying to have a pool in your backyard for next year, ask them if they can get you on the schedule. It is Just Pools, where they can build you, again, an outdoor or above ground or an in-ground pool. I keep saying outdoor, indoor. I do love the indoor pools, but that's more in Florida. Just Pools, the pool and spa specialist, making way for the hot tub season, though, as well, which excites me. West Outer Road in Arnold. Give them a call or stop by. And again, tell our friends, Madonna and her staff, how much we absolutely love them. All right, welcome back. The Real Monica Adams Show. Thank you all for tuning in. All of our platforms. We love to see where you're watching from. If it's Facebook, is it YouTube, is it X, Rumble, Instagram, etc. I'm going to do a quick social media check-in. Looks like we have 27 of you, my biggest platform, from Facebook right now that are on live. 8 from X. X is really starting to build up. 3 from Rumble. We have nobody on YouTube right now. So if you have friends that don't want to be on Facebook, let them know that they can just hop over to YouTube and watch there. Okay, Debbie says, wow, I need to hear the show today. We have to watch the replay. No problem at all. Let us know how things are going. Late jumping on. Good morning, Linda Eckert. We're just now getting ready to get into our topic, so you're not late at all. All right, Marilyn says, this is so me. Organize and declutter. Love it. Ask my boss what her office used to look like before and after me. Well, how about do me a favor? Tell her to get on right now, because I think it's only fair that she lets us know what her thoughts are as well. All right, I put this on the screen before, and I want to know if you feel that this is you or if you are so far from being this person. Okay, let's take a look at this slide for just a second. So reminder, delegate, organize, finish, daily, success, all these keywords of being able to feel calm at the end of the day. Complete priorities, planner, daily goals, a to-do list. Oh, they're putting career on there. Motivate, reminders, work, tasks. Organize, though, the big word right in the middle. So I'm going to ask you straight out of the gate, what do you think it takes to be an organized person? And one thing that I've always wanted to know Are you born in a family that teaches you as a young kid to organize? Meaning constantly cleaning up your room, having chores for you to do on a daily basis. So it's inherently learned as a young kid that when you come home from school, you've got tasks, you have chores to do. My mother did, of course, do that. We had daily chores. We had an allowance, a small little allowance that we would get. On the weekends, it was first thing in the morning, get up. That's what we had to do. I think a lot of my business organized mind comes from that. Now, no way, and I always want to be honest with you, would I call myself organized when it comes to putting clothes away, putting shoes away. It's not top of my priority. What I mean by that is I don't have things labeled. I don't have things. I remember a friend of mine in high school, her shoes couldn't touch. Any of you like this? I mean, laugh at home with me and feel free to drop it, because the only way I get to interact with you is dropping it in the comments. Her shoes couldn't touch. And I was like, what? And she's like, no, her food couldn't touch on her plate. All right. Is this you? Let me know. I have so much admiration for all of you that do it. To me, it is not at all a top priority for me. Yes, I take my shoes off my feet and put them in my closet. Are they touching? Yes. Sometimes do I just throw them in there? Yes. Do I put my clothes on the hanger? Yes. Do I all of a sudden get excited and start color coding them sometimes? Yes. Do I take everything out of my armoire and then all of a sudden go, okay, I feel really organized today. I'm going to start putting things together. I love how it looks. Does it stay that way? The answer is no. Why do you think I get to that point? You might have the answer for me. Now, don't get me wrong. I love the way it looks. And all I always say is somebody can do it for me. Because for me, I prioritize what's important in my life. That's not important to me. That's why. Okay, hats by Diane. I knew a guy whose shirts couldn't touch. Yes. And for the guys, and I just have so much admiration. So, if I was on a newlywed show or a almost 9-year anniversary show and they asked us who's more organized between myself and Jim all day, I would agree that the answer is Jim. Jim, I don't know if it's more of that military style mindset of him being a police officer and everything's all pressed and the pins are all put in. And when we go on vacation, his is all meticulously all folded up and beautiful. Mine looks good when I start vacation. And I even tie stuff in and then I'm just start pulling stuff out and then I put it back in. But to me, that's my organization. So this conversation came up between somebody on my team, Jenny, who I'm going to see her comment in just a second, and a lady we went and visited with the other day. And they both were cracking me up because they were like, oh, my daughter, she's 15, and I walk into her room and I swear there's stuff all over the place. I can barely walk over it. Now, that was never me as a kid, and that won't be me at all. That I feel there's got to be some intervention there. But do I have probably the house look that Jenny or others have on my team? Yes, when I have parties and everything's my house looks great. You walk into my house, it's beautiful, it's clean, but that level, there's another level, I guess is what I'm saying. Are you in that category? Are you the other level organization where everything has its place? If you had a chance to see the documentary on Celine Dion, I don't think I've ever in my life seen anybody as organized as that woman. And I don't know whether it's her or somebody taking care of her. That's what I really would love to know. Since I don't know her, I'm going to believe that it's her, which is just absolutely incredible. All of her cabinets in her kitchen are glass, so you can see all of the food. So obviously if the food was just thrown in there, it would be all chaotic looking. It was over the top meticulous. You opened up her drawers, all of the socks were all rolled up in this perfect succession and color. Her closet, her shoes. I mean, again, she's got the money, but I've never seen floor to ceiling shoes like that in my life, with everything in its place, everything color coded. And I look at that going, yeah, it looks impressive, but I also think it is unbelievably OCD. So organization, OCD. I want to talk about all of this today. All right, before we go on, I'm going to look at your comments because I have a feeling this is going to be a really interesting one. Marilyn says, check. Hats by Diane. I knew a guy whose shirts couldn't touch. Again, from a guy standpoint, they have their crisp white shirts, their baby blue shirts, the gray shirts, everything. It looks beautiful. Why do you think St. Louis Closet Company is so popular? And I guess maybe I need St. Louis Closet Company to be a sponsor of my show because maybe they need to do an intervention. Jenny says, always had to have room clean, but when I became a mom, it was a whole new game of needing organization and structure. Why is it, Jenny? Why is that? Rose, being organized is a tool I learned when I worked as a supervisor, and it does make things go smoother. But to be real, there's been a few times my procrastination paid off. Okay. Hats by Diane. I make a list every day of what I need to do. My list is too long though, and my hat stuff takes a lot of space. I love everything neat and clean. Okay. Michelle, I love organizing. Give me a messy junk drawer and I'm in heaven. What is it that you get so excited about? I was told by my ex-stepfather to keep things clean. Okay. I always wanted to know because she is in that category. If it came from a father, stepfather, or mother, she said had all of the chores because she's an only child, even had to vacuum to keep the lines straight and in one direction. Yeah. Why? Because, okay, let's think of all of us that have animals. I think it looks great and we do it. My husband really goes slow with it. And I look at it as there's so much to be done in a day. Give me the vacuum. Let me vacuum and be done with it. We don't need all the lines. You don't need all the lines. In the carpeting for one reason. If you have animals, as soon as they come and play and you want them to, your kids, it's gone in a matter of minutes. So I don't get that. Now it's different. I think it looks absolutely beautiful on a lawn. Do all of you do the gorgeous lines in the lawn, the diagonal lines in the lawn? My husband's big on that. Right now, again, I look at it going, is it a waste of time? Because I'm looking outside and there's weeds and there's crunchy grass because of Mother Nature. I don't know. To me, I have to pick what makes the most sense. And for me, my organization is I make sure that everybody's email is responded to. And that's a slide I'm going to show you in just a second. By the end of the day, that there is zero inbox. Do you have thousands upon thousands of emails in your inbox, your sent files, your deleted files? See, we pick what matters in our brains. For me, that's extremely important. The respect of somebody getting responses back from me in a very timely manner. So I think organization is also returning phone calls. There's so many levels of this. Like this, we could do a series on organization, responding back and not ghosting people. Those are levels of organization. Do you all agree with that? Let's see. What else does she say? Even had to vacuum. Yes. No allowance. Everything has its place here. Mon, you've seen my closet. I know you're kind of nearing the level of Celine Dion. Marilyn, no way. My family is so opposite of me. Okay. I've been working on my sister for years and years. Caught this habit from my maternal grandparents. Wise beyond their years, born in the late 1800s, they were true minimalists before that was a thing. She would always say, your possessions own you. You have to take care of them. Decide over time to toss, store, or give away. Okay. If my husband watches this show, he says every time something comes in, something has to come out. He says one thing comes in, meaning a new pair of shoes or clothes. How many things are going out, Monica? And I say none, as long as I'm still wearing them. But there are times where I just gave a ton of stuff away to clients of clothes of mine, and we gave a humongous bag away to St. Vincent, which I love to donate to. If you know of other ones, I need to do the Souls for Souls campaign. The young girl that came on my show, I need to give her some shoes because I have a whole nother side of my closet to go through. I did one and it looks great. And it stayed that way actually for the last couple of months. It's the other one I got to get to. Decide over time to toss, store, and give away, she says. Good point. Some friends laugh at my basement. I feel too much down there. They say, what? Linda, we had daily and weekly chores growing up. Yep. Practice that with my son. We did not get an allowance. And when I say allowance, I mean minimal. But like, did we get a quarter or 50 cents? Yeah, but I mean, it's incentive. I am considered a neat freak. Okay, Linda, thank you for letting us know. Let's see. We did not get an allowance and neither did my son, but all he had to do was ask. And if he needed it or deserved it, I got him what he wanted. Okay. To me, that's the same thing. I try to stay organized, but do not obsess over it. However, my closet is arranged by color. That is a must. For me, it really depends. And I don't know why. So tell me, give me this answer. Why do you think my mind sometimes says, okay, today's the day, everything's going color coded. Today's the day I want everything to be hanging like this. I honestly believe, and you tell me what the answer is to this, that my life is so busy that when I have even a brief amount of time and I feel relaxed, that suddenly that becomes important. Does that make sense to anybody? So if I have time on my hands, and again, I don't even know when's the last time I could actually say that is the case. I suddenly I get up early, and on a Saturday or Sunday, it's like, okay, and I think it goes back to how I was raised, because when you would wake up on a Saturday morning, it was chores. So I have clients that come to the house at 9 a.m. If I wasn't training them, I think my day would be, let's get all this done. And now the rest of the day feels very comfortable. Let's relax. So to me, I'm looking for that, things that probably need to be taken off my plate. But I train clients at 9 and they get done. We still kind of hang at the house after they're done. We're talking. And then it just feels like, let's get into the day. And I want to spend time with my husband. So I organize importance of time spent. Does that make sense? Memories created. I don't know. I just think there's so much time doing chores that at the end of the day, in my head and in my heart, it feels like it's time away from people. That's what matters to me. I don't know. I always have to have my kitchen clean, Janet says, before I even go to bed. Yeah, agreed with that. So I have this level of it. It's so very near that. There can never be any dishes in the sink before we go to bed. Agree with that. Everything's either cleaned already, put away, or it's put into the dishwasher. Hate dishes in the sink. Agree with that one. I do have an area that my husband would probably love to be absolutely clean, but I just look at it and go, it looks like no one lives in the house then. I don't know. It needs to be lived in. Kitchen clean, even before I go to bed, or if I go out but I'm not really organized, Janet says. Thank you for being honest. Jenny, I think each person processes it differently for mental clarity. Good point. And I have Anne's things to do list, and I check things off. I grew up doing chores, and my parents taught a great work ethic. I have a calendar that I follow. Interesting. You put it on a calendar. Okay, cool. Rose says, yes, me too. Weird. Linda, I too make list of things needed done. Diane, years ago, my mom used to say, keep your drawers neat because you might be in an accident. And what if drawers as in underwear. My mom said that too. That's from head to toe. I'm always organized. See, there's levels of it. Keep your drawers neat because you might be in an accident. What if someone comes to it is drawer. Are you all laughing at home? I'm saying you always have to wear clean underwear in case you get in an actual accident. Okay, so if you were in an accident, and what if someone comes to your house and goes into your drawers to get something for you? I've actually done even beyond that, Diane. God forbid something happens and I leave this earth, but I've always thought, if something happened to me and then suddenly my husband and my family would have to go through everything, I just want you all to laugh, because you'll be like, holy crap, Monica just threw this here. What is this from? There's papers and books and it's pushed over here. It's out of the way. It's not in anyone's way. And it's neatly stored in the back part of my closet, but I'm sure I need to get rid of them. Come on, Diane, that just made me laugh. Linda, I do vacuum, so there are no lines, but only our bedroom has carpet. No, we do not mow our lines with fancy lines. Not enough time for that. Okay, Anne, I am organized, but things can touch. Kathleen, I just donated shoes to Souls for Souls. Thank you. I was talking the other day with Tia, who's on my team, and there's a new segment I want to start. What do y'all think about this? Because I think we need to bring the generations together. So the younger generation that doesn't respect the older generation that doesn't respect the younger generation because they think they feel entitled and they're not organized, they're lazy, they ghost. We need to make sure that you all understand there are some really great in all generations. And the small percentage is the ones that you're thinking that of. So I want my younger team that are in their early to mid 20s to start doing segments with me. I also want to spotlight. So I'm going to just throw it out there today. This is something I'm starting. See, my mind's organized. I want to have you start submitting. We used to do this in television, to my email address, info@TheRealMonicaAdams.com. And I want you to submit someone that you think should be in our spotlight features that we're going to do in the younger generation. I want to know what is going on in our community that they're doing good. So we've had some incredible young entrepreneurs on our show. We have Mr. Fresh, who you've seen in some of our promos. We've done the Souls for Souls campaign, which again comes from a young girl. We had a young girl who did a lemonade stand right at 141 and 21 around the 4th of July, raised huge money, raising money for kids with different illnesses. I would love to know more and more and more about that and make it a regular segment. I'm going to put one of my team members on that. And they also want to do something that I came up with the other day, which was them interviewing me, learning from a mid-generation who learn from an older generation. What do you think about that? And I don't know what I'm going to call it, something to do with generations, but that's something new that's coming on our show. All right, Linda, my husband can be a neat freak too. We both do not like things laying around. That's the other thing. Do you think neat freaks, OCD, crazy organized people end up looking for that in a mate? Tell me that. All right. If you're just tuning in, we're talking about organization today. Organization is key and what it does for your life. More on that, and love your comments. Keep them coming in.
Discover your full potential with a personalized styling experience. Designing, customizing, and transforming the looks of men and women. Revamp your individual style and embrace what makes you, you. That's real confidence.
All right, a couple things I want you to mark on your calendar. Again, for all you organized people, have you saved the date? September 12th, we're going to be in Pacific, Missouri. We're taking over. The Real Monica Adams team will all be there for you at the Landing Hub. And this is the out and inside look of the Landing Hub. Just a couple of pictures that we took. I can't wait to take you through all the rooms, and one in particular. Actually, I should say two, because they have two of these. Yes, those are Star Wars pods that your kids can stay in. So think about the holidays coming up. Think about birthdays. Maybe they want to have a birthday party at the Landing Hub, which I think is a great idea. It's so cool looking. Again, it's a boutique hotel that's been in Pacific, Missouri for the last few years. That picture on the right, by the way, is their pool that's still open right now. So maybe if you're looking for something fun to do, maybe you take the kids over and you have a little staycation. I know they're going to love to see all of the aviation. Again, his father was involved in aviation, so a lot of airplanes memorabilia that you'll get a chance to see. We're going to be there from 4:30 to 6. Can't wait to show you through it. And you are, of course, open to come here and then join us right after that for a social hour. We're going to go to the downtown area and go into the cigar vault. You can come have a drink with us, celebrate, and get a chance to know the team. Maybe light one up like Jim I know is going to. If you're a cigar aficionado, I love the fact that they carry more local as well as spotlighting smaller, kind of like boutique style cigar companies. This is the inside look for you. It's just absolutely beautiful. Really, as far as the organization is concerned, they've got the coolest things on the wall. And then come and listen to the train. Yeah, it's a train town after all. Pacific, Missouri, 4:30 to 6 p.m. again on September 12th. And then, if you can believe it, our 400th show. So Michelle and Carrie, I have to thank them because they're so organized. They have been counting how many shows we've done. Now, Michelle says my actual 400th show will be on September 30th, which is a Monday. I'll just be coming back from Mexico, but we're going to celebrate it with that beautiful woman, Tiffany Winkler, her husband, Larry, their children. They've got 6 in their family. After all, that's why it's called Circle 6, Meat Market and Watering Hole. I want you to come on by. I'm calling it bourbon, beer, badges, and just a wonderful time with your best friends, with your besties. Outside, hanging right there, just absolutely gorgeous on the back side of it. This is the back side of the Meat Market and the Watering Hole. We're going to listen to some music. We are talking about raising money for our first responders. I can't wait to see who the band will be that will be booked for this, but that one's going to be on October 4th. So September 12th, 4:30 to 6, and then October 4th, 5:30 to 7. So when we're talking about organization today, by the way, you have to understand that all of this is right here. So they talk about warding off dementia and Alzheimer's. I purposely make myself know as much as I possibly can here before I ever put it inside of here. My team, however, wants it in here so that they can keep an eye on me. It's kind of like, let's track Monica, a GPS on Monica. I have it here. That, by the way, was taught to me at an early age when I was in my early 20s and became a news director, and I knew phone numbers. So I'll ask all of you that are so crazy organized, do you know phone numbers, or do you rely on this? If you rely on this, what would happen if this got broke and you got lost and you don't have it in a cloud? Do you know people's phone numbers? I know people who don't even know their kids' phone numbers or their spouse's phone numbers. So I'm going to look at your level of organization and I'm going to put mine against it because, see, it just looks different. Everybody's mindset of, is that person organized, It just depends on the context of it all, as far as I'm concerned. I'm going to get back to your comments in just a second. But if you're just tuning in, and tell more people, because I want to hear from more and more and more. We're talking about this, making lists, planning, having a full rundown on your calendar of what to do, your chores, the chores for you, the chores for kids. Again, what's going on for the weekend, Labor Day weekend? Are you a planner when you go on vacation? I have so many questions on this. Do your drawers look like this, your actual drawers? Nothing can touch. Everything looks so meticulous. Well, I'm going to run through weekly list that you can make for yourself. Week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4. And I came up with this to show maybe how we get some of us a little more organized, and those of you that would think that this level of the life needs to be more organized. Because again, this isn't my priority. There are things that people look at and I'm like, whatever, it doesn't matter to me. The things that matter to me are me respecting you, calling you back in a very timely manner. For how busy I am, my clients are always like, I can't believe how quickly you respond. Yeah, to me, that's called organized. It's important. Michelle said, Diane, I always say that to my husband. The bed has to be made. Yep, we do that. Dishes and laundry done before we leave for a trip. Can't have people judging a mess when I'm dead. Now, that's what I say, the dead aspect. I think she's just talking about if they have to run to the hospital. Yes, Michelle says, my closet is color-coded. Diane, I feel guilty if I relax when I have things to tidy up. But you need relaxation. Where's your balance if you're constantly working? Linda, I can only stand my closet disorganized for so long, then it's time to purge and arrange. Mine can go for a little while, and then I somehow click into my mind of, okay, Michelle, here we go. My shoe boxes have photos of the shoe stuck to the outside so I can see what is in each box. Then they are organized by heel, height, or style. I went to her house and saw that. My husband saw it and he goes, oh my God. And I was like, that's a whole nother level, right? Where do you get that level from is what I'm trying to figure out. Julie, chores on Saturday morning. Mom turned on records and we would clean. The simpler days. Julie, you just brought us back to a better time, I think. Yes. And everybody working together. See, that's the thing. I think what feels so overwhelming is that one person feels like they have to do all of that. All right. So my husband and I try to do like he does outside, I do inside. But now with how crazy busy this brand has become, I think he probably truly feels like I'm doing everything, Monica. And I look at it as, no, I make sure that things are put to, he doesn't see it because he's at work. I make sure that when I come home, everything's being put away as I'm coming home. But there's other things that are out. And so it makes, what I hope it doesn't do for all of you is that it makes somebody feel like they're doing everything and the other person's not. But what is that person doing that you don't see? It's all those levels of communication, which is key. Besides organization being key, organization is key. Kathleen says, I love to bake. I have many, many spices. They're organized in alphabetical order. Lord, you people do not ever need to come to my house. A big time saver, never have to try to find something. That's incredible. I think these all things are incredible, but you also sit there and wonder, this is what my husband always says, those people to that level, do you think they come to your house and judge? If they do, I don't want them at my house, which is what I always say. If you're judgmental or you say it to your spouse or to your friends, which they shouldn't do, because when you leave a table, this is something my friend Dot said, if somebody's talking about you or you find out that they do, well, guess what? I'm sure they're talking about you, because if they're talking about others, then they must evidently do that behind your back, which is not a good thing. That's a good show that we need to do about who you hang around, right? I love it. I go and I applaud you. But do you judge all of you that are so unbelievably organized? Do you judge others that don't do that? Because I've seen that happen, by the way. I've heard it. I hear little snide comments. You read between the lines. That shouldn't be happening. It's great that that's who you are, but accept the person. And this is the next part of the organization I want to get into. So for those of you that have kids and or spouses and or family members or friends that don't have it the level that you do. And this is the next part of this, and I need you to really weigh in on. Do you start to try to tidy it up and organize it the way you think it should be? Here's the problem. They know where everything is. They do have organization in their minds. This got brought up and I smiled because I thought my husband did just that. And guess what he did? While I was gone and I came back, he wanted the entire counter cleaned off, or just a small little area that was set up that he thought this is what Monica needs. Well, he threw away something extremely important that has to do with my clients. Some people might be like, well, you shouldn't have a piece of paper where you're marking off their sessions. Says who? That's what I've done. And I've done it for years and it works. Somebody else might say, well, I could do this for you. Great, do it. if somebody wants to handle it, but I'm doing it all. And so when you are the boss and you have all these things going, you don't want anyone touching any of it, because if you get rid of something that's extremely important, then what happens? Well, I had to play catch up. In my mind, I have an eidetic memory, by the way. I looked at that before I went on vacation about a month ago. I happened to remember each one of my clients and how many sessions they had left in their packages, except for one. That particular one I couldn't remember. And so what I'm doing right now is trusting. I trust my clients. She went back and looked at her calendar and said, I think this is what it is. Are you okay with that? Sure. Did I possibly lose money on that? I hope not. But guess what? There's organization in our minds. And when someone takes and changes it, this is what happened with one of the people on my team. She said her daughter said, if you move all of that, how will I know where this is or how that is? Now, hers sounds like a little bit more chaotic, but I can't judge because we shouldn't be judging. She said her daughter has an area where she throws dirty clothes and there's clean clothes, and this is what she sees. Now, for a parent, they are living in your house, so I get it, and you want it to look the way you want it to look. However, please weigh in on that. Do you think it's your right to organize their stuff to what you think it should be? I remember my mom coming to my house when I used to live in Afton, and we actually tease her now because she came over and said, well, this should be in this drawer and this should be in this drawer because it's closer to the stove and this is closer to here. And I said, in your mind, in my mind, that drawer is closer to the refrigerator and that drawer is closer to the stove. And she was like, no, it should be like this. And I said, says who? That whole comment of it should be like, that's your mind, right? This is such an awesome show that I want to do more and more and more on this, because I can't believe we've already almost gone an hour. But I love all of your comments, and I'm going to look at more that are coming in. I don't know that anyone has a right to say this is how it should be. And my response is always, says who? Okay, so that's the question I'm asking you. Let's get into that. Weigh in on that. Richard, my beautiful wife, Becky, and I are much more organized as a team. Yes, that's huge. On my own, I am definitely not as organized. Well, maybe she is just organized and I am not. I'm not sure what the real answer is. I love it. Kelsey, sometimes it's nice to do a small organization project when there are big projects in process. So I feel like I at least got something small done. Absolutely. At the end of every day, I feel like I have completed a lot. But I also know that I come in and if I ask my husband, he'll laugh and say, but that's not done and that's not done. There's no more time. If that's what's important, then guess what? You'll never interact with your spouse. You'll never interact with your kids. If you are able to do all these things and all these things. Now, I know some of you are at home going, but I'm able to do this. Yeah, but I'll challenge you. I'll give you everything that I do in a day. And then go ahead and do all of that, plus keep your house. There's no way. If you look at all the things that we do in this brand, and this is why people look at it sometimes and say to my team, well, there's no way that Monica can do all of this. Watch me, is what I say. I do, but I don't do all these other things that other people might put in their level of this is important. This isn't important. This is important because this is how I change the world. Me making little lines in my carpet don't change the world. Me making lines in my grass don't change the world. Me having color-coded things doesn't change the world. However, somebody else might come in and say, but if that was done for you, you might feel a little calmer. It's true, but I think that's where I need to hire someone. Closet company, put it out there, manifest it. St. Louis Closet Company, come on board with us. When I talk about new sponsors, let's do it. And topics or guests, by the way, I'll put this on the screen that you want me to cover. Let me know. I haven't popped over to Instagram. Let's see, is anybody commenting over here? No, a lot of people joining, but just listening. Oh, Life Coach Angel from the Grunt Style Foundation. What do you think about organization? Make a comment if you want to. I feel if you never leave it out, dishes, papers, etc., you never have to spend the time cleaning it up. Yeah, we don't leave dishes out. Papers. Well, see, the papers, though, that they need to be in front of me, Linda. So if the papers are different for me, books, papers, I need to have them right there on the counter because I work in several areas of this house. I'm in my office right now, but it's rare I'm up here. I like to be down by the dogs. See, it's to me, time spent. So if I look at love languages, I have a feeling that time spent together is probably big for me. Marilyn, who goes to bed with a messy house? Who does not pick up and put away things before bed? Teach your children as they are young. You are not their maid or servant. My grandmother said that too much clutter weighs you down. Some people are suffocating with piles of stuff. I like feeling light and wispy. Okay, interesting. Debbie, dang it. So much to say to join the conversation, but difficult to text in the car. Rose, always take time for people. Makes all my chores less important. My friend Kristen is on, Monica. She's the most organized person I know. Is Kristen weighing in? I hope so. She drives my husband crazy. Sorry, Kristen. He loves you, though. She has high expectations for herself. I love that. I have no problem with that at all. When my husband and I met, he was actually more organized than me. This is coming from Linda. I was not at the time. I guess he wore off on me. Now I'm more organized than he is. There's absolutely levels of things that Jim does that I smile and go, I love that about him. And yes, I pick up on some of it, but I still will say, do it, because that matters to you much more than it matters to me. My team is doing a great job. Hannah Ledford and Kelsey Oglesby, thank you for all the things you're dropping in. Yeah, right. Bourbon, beer, badges, and beef. You got to put the beef and besties, Michelle. Bourbon, beer, badges, beef, and besties. There's a lot of bees in that show on October 4th. Okay, Rose, maybe not organization, but my husband and I hate agendas. By the way, the organization in my mind had me pause here for a second. You can find all of the events that my Real Monica Adams team will be a part of on our website, TheRealMonicaAdams.com. Just look under the events calendar, and that way you can keep up with us, like the GPS tracker that my team wants to have on me. You can know where we are, so you can see the information on the September 12th event at the Landing Hub from 4:30 to 6 in Pacific, and the October 4th 400th show at the Watering Hole with Circle 6 Acres in Defiance, Missouri. So there you go. Okay, let's go back to Rose. Maybe not organization, but my husband and I hate agendas, especially on vacation. Hate when someone pulls out their list. Yes, my brother has everything. And again, here's the deal though, but don't judge them because that's what they want to do. Admiration to the nth degree for the level of what you want to do, but I love spontaneity. I also like things planned, but there's a balance between the two. I don't want everything planned out. In fact, my husband and I are going with two couples actually, on vacation. And I've written to them and said, you all want to, have anything that you want planned? I sent them some information to get in touch with the concierge, gave them an email address for that, and told them some things. And fortunately, I don't know if we're getting lucky on this, but they all were like, we don't really care. We would be fine just sitting by the water and just hanging the entire time. And I was like, okay, great. I don't need to plan anything. They're like, no, you have so much on your plate, Monica. Why would you plan? But there's others. My oldest brother's big on this. Everything's so planned out. And some of it you have to, right? You have to make some reservations. But I think some people feel like my whole life is planned. I just want to relax. So I have great admiration for those that go. Michelle made me laugh when we were going to Cabo. I smile at it and I was like, I love the level of what she does, but I also wondered, was anybody reading it? Because to me, I feel like she's doing all this work. Does anybody really read it all? So I purposely did, which again, that's my respect of reading every word that you're writing. She makes an Excel spreadsheet. Her husband and her did that. I remember we were going to Napa and my husband went, an Excel spreadsheet for us to go to Napa. And I was like, that's what they do. That's it. But don't judge. I think it's so admirable and I love it. It's not me. I'm not going to do that. And we can stick to it or not stick to it. But I thought it was cool. I'm not doing that for and they don't want it, by the way. For the people that I'm going with, there's nothing planned. I'm planning something for he and I to have something done. But otherwise, it's going to be wake up. I'm going to go to the gym. See, that's my organization. What matters for me? Does that matter for you? Do you all organize your workouts? I want to get up and work out on vacation immediately. I want to make sure I have breakfast. I've got fuel for myself. So people might look at my life and say, well, this side's not organized. That's your decision to judge. Yes, it is, but it's here. I don't have it down on paper for you. I don't have it on here for you until you need it. And I respect that. So when Michelle and Jenny and different people on my team say, I need to know this and this, I respect and I agree with that. And so when I put things in here, it's color coded to, they need to know this. That, to me, organization comes back to respect. Okay, we're going to get into how you do it in the weeks in just a second. Linda, I know only the numbers of those who I call all the time. I know numbers like crazy. Michelle, LOL, LOL. Okay, that's a breed of its own. She's incredible. Marilyn, I am not OCD. I like neat, decluttered, and organized. I am a list maker at home and at work. Yay, Jim. When something comes in, something goes out. No way. That's not true. And however, has anybody ever called you OCD, Marilyn? You may say you're not. I asked Jim, and he has levels of it, but not to the level that I think some of my friends are. Never judge someone's organizational style. and never judge someone's not organizational style, Kathleen. I go to someone's house to see them, not their house. Amen. That's one of the biggest things that I live by. The people who come to my house, if you judge my house, you really aren't a dear friend of mine, because a true friend couldn't care less whether you have dishes in your sink or not in your sink, whether you have color-coded clothes or not. They want to come over and laugh with you and cry with you and hug you and share times together. I do not go in your house and look at your house. There's so many things that I have that friends and family see, and I'm like, yeah, I don't see that because it doesn't matter. What matters is how our hearts connect. No need to judge others. Your organization is for you, not others. Love that. OCD is a whole other show. All right, let's do it, Rose. Let's do OCD. Thank you for putting that out there. Let me write it down. See, organized. How do you think I did all those shows in the very beginning when we started this? Because, and you all might have wanted it a different way, but this is my organization. I wrote things down and I checked it off, marked through. This person wanted me to cover this. This person wanted me to cover that. For somebody else, they would be like, oh my gosh, but there's paper all over the place. Don't touch the paper, because then you create an issue for the person that this is how they organize. So Rose wants OCD for a show. I love doing this. I had papers and papers when we first started. I had books that I filled up. So journaling to me is my level of organization. I teach journaling. It's important. And so to me, I think it's a half and half thing, or maybe it's 75% that I would consider that I'm organized and 25% in what he would think is not. Linda, yes, house cleaning on Saturday, and we each had a specific thing to do. Yes, that was me and my brothers, and we rotated that each week. Same with dishes each night. No automatic dishwashers. Yeah. Janet, I have a sister-in-law. I was in the hospital and they were going to have a person to come and clean my apartment for me. She came over and decluttered my kitchen. She doesn't like anything on the corner. She put things away in the cabinets where I don't know where anything was. My kitchen's is like a one-but kitchen, and I have to have things on the counter. Drives me crazy when my sister-in-law comes. She has to start picking up and do things. See? And that frustrates a person who that was their organization. Marilyn, absolutely not. To each his own. I do not sit in judgment. I'm available if they want help. Financials, are you in control of that? Ask my sister. At age 69, I flipped her from being in severe credit card debt. I've never had debt in my life. That's called organization. I don't understand that, by the way. To now paying them off each month and has a savings account and makes money off of her credit cards. That has been 5 years ago and she is still going strong. You can teach an old dog new tricks. We've never done that, by the way. I need to bring a financial planner on. How about we write that down? Because for me, this is something that I think is even more important, because to me, I categorize importance. I was taught to never, ever carry any interest on a credit card, and knock on wood, to this day, never have. In fact, I never had loans except for my house until my most recent car, but I hate it. And the thing, this is what makes me laugh. You tell me how you all feel. I look at anything you have to pay on interest as things that I could have bought, because I'm a big fashion aficionado, that I look at it as, oh my gosh, that could have been another pair of cute shoes, or that could have been another pair of cute jeans, or a beautiful dress. Why would I want to pay interest to somebody when I could have had something coming in for me? That's how I look at it. So when I look at what I have to pay for our mortgage, it drives me crazy to look at interest. I don't understand not having organization when it comes to finances. Patty Bone, are you new to the show? Patty's watching on Facebook. That is why women should design kitchens and not men. Patty, I love it. Where are you watching from? I think that's a new name to me. Oh my gosh, Linda, I had a coworker whose desk was a mess. You couldn't see the desk anywhere. Now that's another level of chaos, but she knew exactly where everything was. Dare not touch it when she was gone. Mine was so organized, you'd have thought I didn't work at all, but that's how I rolled. Ask me for a paper and I had it before you finished asking. Michelle, organization keeps me happy and gives me a sense of accomplishment. I'm proud of my home. Luann, I'm moving to YouTube. My Facebook is continually freezing. That's why we're on so many platforms for you. Facebook, YouTube, X, Rumble, and Instagram. Watch on any of them. Tony, good morning to you. There are a lot of moving parts going to Napa, 4 to 5 wineries a day and scheduled tastings. So they had to put it in an Excel spreadsheet. Kathleen Morris. My daughter went to London, French, Riviera, Greece, and Istanbul. She had reservations for dinners, excursions, flights, hotel, and all on an Excel spreadsheet. She and Michelle would get along very well. Absolutely. Linda, on our trip to France, we were only booking our rooms in a car ahead of time. Yeah, you got to do those things. We will just go with the flow and what we see along the way. Even our rooms we can change if needed. Jenny, sadly enough, society is so judgmental, especially for each other's homes. Yeah, we got to stop that. or you all have to stop that. I don't judge. I don't judge anybody. I don't understand judgment. No one has called me OCD. I could do a survey. My house cleaner does chuckle at my house because she does not see homes that she cleans look clean when she comes in, but it does need cleaning. Rose, Janet, when I have company, they always want to help with dishes. I don't like it. They put stuff away, then I got to go hunt for it. They stop and ask me where things go. That's what they should do. I rather just do it myself. I don't like help. I'm weird, not ungrateful. They put stuff where they think I should have it. Yeah, they shouldn't. You know what? I let anybody help, but it's like this goes there and this goes there. Yeah, my kitchen, my rules. Good one. Kathleen, she needs to join us on future trips. My mom plans amazing trips every year. This year is Sicily. We are going to Milan. I mean, I'm going to be in heaven like a kid in a candy store. Milan and Piedmont. This is a business trip, by the way. So the business side of it is obviously all planned out by the culinary team. That has to be. But when it comes to Milan, I'm going to make reservations because you have to go and see the Da Vinci painting of the Last Supper and go see the Duomo. Otherwise, it's just let me free in Milan. Let me run around and have fun, but I want to make sure that Jim sees the architectural side. Patty says, I'm new. I met you at Ruby Lee concert and Jim at Rickman Auditorium. Thank you, Patty. Thanks for watching the show. That will be a great show, Marilyn says. Never carry debt and always have savings for rainy days. Yep, absolutely. Linda, same here. We never carry interest on our cards. Don't buy it if we can't pay for it. Amen. Teach that to the kids, by the way. It is called structure and organization and finances. It's very important. It's very important to have your finances in order. Also makes it much easier for your loved ones when you leave this earth. Yes, because I know people who are organized in the level that you all may think, and they have debt. And I don't get that. See, because to me, that doesn't seem to fit in my brain. All right. We're a little over 8 o'clock, but a lot of you are still on. So let me give this to you. Break this down. How does this look for you? Does this make you happy? I hope so. This is a little rundown for you of what things could look like from week 1. So if you're trying to be more organized, I don't know if you can see the list. If you can't, I'm going to run through it for you. Week 1, there are 7 things to do. And this is what I think Stephanie said earlier. Somebody said, if you do one small thing at a time, suddenly it all feels amazing. So maybe on day 1, like on a Sunday, you put away all your seasonal decorations as we get ready to change from summer to fall, and then fall to winter, and then you get into holiday stuff. The next day, clean out your purse and your diaper bag. I've got purses everywhere. So yeah, it surprises me. I'm like, oh, there's money in here. Or here's where my card is. Then the next day, clean out your master closet. This is, making only one thing so it doesn't seem overwhelming. The next day, clean out the fridge, clean out the freezer. The next day, don't do them both in the same day. Reorganize all the lower kitchen cabinets on day 6. And then by day 7, reorganize all the upper kitchen cabinets. I look at it sometimes, I'm like, okay, we probably need to dust all those glasses that are there. But you just feel like you can never keep on top of it all. So we get into week 2. What does week 2 look like for you? Clean out the junk drawer. These are all day by day. Clean out your coat closet, clean out the master bath cabinets and medicine cabinets. What I'm giving you is only one thing at a time. The next day, take all the toys to the playroom. Then the next day, clean the couch. Then the next day, clean out your desk. And then tidy the front door. So now you've got 14 days of things that you've done, but it hasn't seemed overwhelming because you're not trying to do that all at once. Now we're going into week 3. And on week 3, you clean out the pantry. Then you clean out bathrooms. I don't mean clean the bathrooms, clean out and maybe organize things in the cabinets of the bathrooms, or maybe refold things. Clean out the car on a 3rd day. Clean out your shoe collection. Do your computer cleanup. I was just asking, do you have thousands upon thousands of emails? That freaks me out. Playroom planning. And then on the 21st day, you organize the playroom for all of you that have kiddos. And then weeks 4 and 5, clean out the laundry room. Clean out the garage, clean out your child's closet, because they're not going to probably do so. Organize the cleaning supplies, or actually back to the child, you might actually have them watch you. Go through all your mail, fill out your planner, revisit all the tasks that you've accomplished thus far, surface clean, sweep and vacuum the house. And on the final day, if there's 31 days in the month, you spend 20 minutes treating yourself to some you time. And it made me laugh when I saw that and thought, after an entire month, you just get 20 minutes? No, what they mean by that is maybe you get a little extra time because you feel a little more organized. What do you think about that? Do you like all that? I mean, that's making list. Same here. We never carry interest on our cards. Don't buy it if we can't pay for it at the end of the month. It's very important to have your finances in order. Also makes it much easier for your loved ones when you leave this earth. That's what I always think. Kathleen, would love to go on your mom's trips. They sound exciting. Marilyn, love that list. Small daily tasks and voila, admire your work and your success. All right. A lot of things that we covered today, but I do believe that we could continue it going for more at a time. Sharon Weibel, oh my gosh, I haven't seen that name in a while. Looks like she joined over on Instagram. It's neat to see people come on. I'd love for people to talk a little bit more. But if you're just watching, we do the hashtag, let them watch, and hopefully they get a little positivity. Let them watch. They can catch up on what you're doing if you haven't talked to them in a while. Positive Talk Time, by the way, usually on our Thursdays, but we do it every other Thursday. So we will be back with Yuppie Puppy. I do want to give them a quick plug because their gala is right around the corner. And some people are organized and have purchased their tickets already, have made plans to join us for the gala. It will be on October 19th. Put it on your calendar. It will be at Whitmore Country Club. And I know some people were donating items for their silent and their live auction. The main thing is they also had a lot of sponsors. The main thing is to purchase your tickets to be able to give money so that they can continue to do the incredible work that they do. So if you haven't bought your tickets yet, please tell people to do that if you have. Otherwise, make sure you get your tickets. I think some of the ticket sales are right at about, 90. They are 100, maybe a little over 100. And I understand that we are a month and a half out. But if you procrastinate, you may miss out on this. They have room for 300 people to go to that. Yuppie Puppies Forever Rescue costs $500 just for a dog that comes in the door if they have nothing wrong with them, to spay them, to neuter them, to get them all their shots, to take care of them. That adds up for the amount of animals that they are able to bring in. We also have a tendency to do Wet Your Whistle Wednesday, even on the days when we're not with Chuck Gillentine with Defiance Ridge. I didn't do it last night. I relaxed. Well, I caught up on work, I should say, on things that didn't make me feel so stressed. We have next week where he's not with us. I might do just a fun one with family and friends. But Wet Your Whistle Wednesday, we should have done yesterday because yesterday was National Red Wine Day. I completely missed that one. Gosh darn it. Didn't have any red wine. I actually haven't had any for a few days. So I'm going to have some maybe this weekend. What are you doing this weekend? We're going to talk about that tomorrow as we head into Labor Day weekend. I'll just give a little shout out real quick to the Greek Festival. Always a big one. That's the one that's in the city. And then they also have, I think, the Japanese Festival. Is that this weekend? They're bringing back the Queenie Art Fair. But what are you doing? We'll talk about all of that tomorrow. Remember, we can help you with these things that probably help you organize a little bit better. Mental, spiritual, physical balance of life. So all of you that are so organized in your home, is your body organized? Is your nutrition organized? Is your finances, are they organized? So if you call yourself an organized person, my question is everything else in order? Is your house in order? Is your body in order? Because then I would look and say, well, that's where I can help you. You might be having the lines in your carpet, but I'm going to take care of your health, which to me, if you don't have that, you don't have anything else that you've put on the table. Anybody else that I missed before we wrap up? I don't want you to be missed. Let's see. I am organizing as I listen because I keep my phone in my waist apron. That's Hats by Diane. So that would be called multitasking, which again, my friend Dot says there's no such thing, but I disagree. Yes, you can multitask. I am multitasking right now as I transition and know that I've got a life coaching call coming up in 15 minutes. We'll get the dogs ready. They're going to go get groomed. I'm going to have some pictures for you a little bit later on as you can see how beautiful Opus and Adelaide and Tessa look after their grooming appointment. Get their nails done, get the hair cut from, and for little Adelaide. Anybody else have dogs that scoot across the carpet? Poor Adelaide. They said it's like in their breed, I think. So I'm going to ask them to take care of her anal glands, which I never knew was a thing. They don't do it big time at the groomers. They can do something for them to help them with that. But if you have a dog like Adelaide, our dachshund, you might have to take them to the vet to take care of that. It's a real thing. All right. I can multitask, but my husband likes doing one thing at a time. Michelle, I DM'd you, Kathleen. Yeah. So she's got different trips that she goes on. Sicily, she's going to, and then I forget where they're going next year. But Let's say that, by the way, I'll go ahead and put that out there. I want you all to not overplan vacations because we have some big things coming up in 2025 where you're going to join us. So don't book too many things just yet, Kathleen and everybody else, because you're going to go on a real Monica Adams trip. We are going to be, that's why I'm going on this business trip in November, because in 2025, all of you have been asking for it. So we're going to pick a special location and we'll start telling you how you can relax from all your organizational skills. You can relax with us and be treated like a king and queen from a culinary side. And then I'm going to take care of the whole wellness umbrella. I'm super excited to be teaming up with my friends Nancy and Carl that own Le Champ de Flore by Stone Soup Cottage. They have asked me to join them on this incredible mission of bringing you the luxury feel that you need. And that's coming in 2025. So you've asked for it. If you don't think I'm listening, we absolutely are. All right, everybody, I hope you got some fun out of today's show. Maybe you'll learn some things to make yourself a little more organized, take pieces of things, but ultimately do what makes the most sense for you. The only reason why you would need to change your organizational skills is if you feel that your life is chaotic. And that is what I want you to remember. So as we wrap up, what are we feeling? How about a Jesus Calling quote from our Jesus Calling book from Sarah Young? Let's pick as we get ready to wrap up. Tomorrow, we will wrap up the month of August and get into September, going into Labor Day weekend. And we'll talk about all the fun things going on in our area. All right, demonstrate your trust in me by sitting quietly in my presence. Put aside all that is waiting to be done. This is hilarious after what we've been talking about. Put aside all that is waiting to be done and refuse to worry about anything. I love you, God. You're so funny. This sacred time together strengthens you and prepares you to face whatever the day will bring. By waiting with me before you begin the day's activities, you proclaim the reality of my living presence. This act of faith, waiting before working, is noted in the spirit world, where your demonstration of trust weakens principles and powers of darkness. The most effective way to resist evil is to draw near me. When you need to take action, I will guide you clearly through my spirit and my word. The world, is so complex and overstimulating, yes, that you can easily lose your sense of direction. Doing countless unnecessary activities will dissipate your energy. This is awesome. When you spend time with me, I restore your sense of direction. As you look to me for guidance, I enable you to do less, but accomplish more. Do you not find that ironic that everything we've talked about today, it is just crazy how when we started 100 Days to Freedom and now the Jesus Calling, and then the other book that Marilyn gave us, this one, Love the Life You Have, that it always seems to fit with our topic, and it wasn't even chosen at all. Okay, with the plethora of stuff in my bucket at home and work, multitasking is the only way to achieve it. Yes, love them. Excited for what you are doing with Nancy and Carl. You just wait. We got big things to come for sure. Hannah Ledford, Kelsey Oglesby, Ashlyn Cross, Tia Tricamo, Jenny Egan, Michelle Harmon, Lori Stahlschmidt, George Wise, Zach Kimball, and my dear husband downstairs. I thank you all for being a part of this mission and being able to lift up this dream that I had a year and a half ago. We are not stopping anytime soon. We've got big things planned for you, and they are planned. That's the organization that I do. To me, that's what matters. We're going to change lives together, and it all is because you show up. Continue to share the spread of your friends and family knowing about this show. And the greatest thing you can do besides being organized and having that calm presence in your life is to be kind. Because to me, that's the greatest organization of all, that you know the importance of connecting with another human being that maybe is a complete stranger to you, but you reach out to them, you say something kind to them, you smile and they smile, and you share the love of kindness. Have a beautiful day.